Scorpio, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for February 2023. I've already cleansed your space and I've meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pretend to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings. I do not take your money, e-gifts, donations. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details. And I'll also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Scorpio, this is your monthly reading for February. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. But just to let you know, February, of course, is considered the month of love. You don't need me to really tell you that. We, of course, have Valentine's Day in February, but it's more than that, okay? Every month should be the month of love, but of course, Venus is moving into the most romantic sign, Pisces. So there is a lovely link between Neptune and Pisces. Now, this can also lead to a connection where we are influenced by the realm of fantasy. So it's important to be honest with yourself during this time. If you're interested romantically in someone who is not available, or you're connected to someone that you really cannot completely trust, then you may be let down by their energy at some point this month, or you may feel unfulfilled by their behavior. So just watch out for that. Now, Venus in Pisces is not all about romance. It can connect to the heart space, where all your aspirations, your dreams, they become a reality, okay? So it is important to really focus on the changes that you really want to make for yourself and go after your goals and dreams. This period also promotes self-love and body positive affirmations. So look into that mirror, see the wonderful, unique, authentic, lovable you who is an absolute force to be reckoned with, staring right back at you, and love yourself a little bit harder this month, okay? Now, of course, we do have the full moon in Leo this month, which is all about self-development, confidence, and letting your inner light shine. Sorry, they're showing me an image of a ship in the water right now. A ship, S-H-I-P. I just want to P for Papa. I just want to clarify that. And it's got sails. It's a very old-fashioned ship. So it can mean that you're focused on your journey this month. It could also be that there's an opportunity on the horizon. It's like launching something big, perhaps, or you're focusing on something that you've been waiting for some time. You know, the famous saying is your ships are in. So yeah, they're just showing me that in the water right now. So I just want you to be aware of that. That can be your search for direction this month. Some of you may also be on top of your emotions. If you've been feeling a little bit more sensitive than usual, you can feel a little bit more grounded in your emotions this month as well. Ships, especially with moon energy, because I was talking about the full moon, it can mean that you are a little bit more, prone to mood swings this month, but you will get on top of that energy, okay? So I'm just going to go and get all of your cards first. Do remember that also we do have the new moon in Pisces, and that's about allowing yourself to visualize all that you want to manifest in a very positive form. Thoughts are becoming things, and you have the power to connect to all that you desire, okay? Now, some of you may be feeling a little bit nostalgic this month, thinking about the past, and you may even have the ghost of a lover resurface this month. I mean, if you're trying to reconnect with somebody, this is a powerful month to do it. But if you want to leave all that in the past, then of course you will be embracing new energy, new people, new circumstances, and new love. In particular for you, my beautiful Scorpio, your 10th house of ambition is influencing you, and that's going to give you a double boost of energy, a bit more confidence, and you really feel like you are in the flow of creating things, making things happen, really connecting to all that you aspire to and shining your wonderful light, okay? This is about connecting to your goals and making them a reality. Also, now is the time to be seen. So if you've been hiding your light for too long, it's time to step into the spotlight. Something perhaps you've been working really hard to accomplish has not been working for you because we've got the tunnel there. So you've been digging deep and you've been focusing really hard, but now is the moment where you step into your power. So this month you'll feel very, not just competitive, but you may feel a lot more productive, where you're in the flow of getting all your tasks done. You may feel a little bit more organized than usual, and you will have a lot of a deep sense of achievement, shall we say. It is a time where projects that are ending will lead the way to new ones that will pique your curiosity. Also, I feel this is a time for awards, or getting some sort of pay increase, or some sort of recognition for what you do, being appreciated for all that you bring to the table, okay? Now we got the Ten of Wands there. That's coming up. I've just done a reading for Leo as well, and I know I always say if you got placements in Leo, but I really feel the collective are feeling a little bit exhausted, a little bit frustrated at this time. It's like a little bit of dip in energy, and with the Ten of Wands there, you may be feeling like you've got a lot on your plate. You've got so much to do with little time to do it. So you may be focusing on, you've got Three of Swords there as well. There's this sense here in your reading that you're trying to accomplish something really difficult, okay? Now some of you may be trying to make a large purchase this month, and you may be looking at your finances and trying to find the best way to manage that purchase. Make sure you don't put yourself into financial difficulty by taking on more debt than you can. I feel like you will be very financially independent, and you've got this. But there is a temptation, especially if you're buying something like, I don't know, because I'm feeling, let me say, I'm feeling an energy here of, like, with the Eight of Pentacles, it can be, you're working really hard to accomplish something, and I'm getting strong real estate vibes. So some of you may be trying to purchase a home, or you're trying to save for a home, and there may be a temptation to perhaps try and buy something that's just a little bit on the edge of the top of your budget, which may lead you to feel a little bit stretched. Okay, remember there's going to be an opportunity to get something that is similar to the thing that you absolutely want, but it be less, or you may wait for the right moment where there's a dip in the economy for you to be able to afford whatever it is you're trying to purchase, okay? For example, there may be shifts. I'm picking up a little bit of a dip in interest rates just before they rise again, okay? I know they're pretty high at the moment, so I see there would be a fluctuation where there's like a window of opportunity, okay, that's popping up for you. It also can mean that you are going to find, whoa, that's very explosive energy there. You're going to find that there is an opportunity coming on in for you that perhaps gives you a better deal, or you may even find something that you want at a discount, like a really big discount, and I'm talking like 20-30% discount of what you were prepared to pay for it in the first place, okay? Now also we do have your 5th house influencing you as you move through the end of February, and that's all about your self-expression. You may feel a little bit more creative than usual. You're definitely going to be very productive, but it's going to be more connected to the pursuit of pleasure, okay? Kicking back, relaxing after really working very hard. It's also about you pouring all of your heart, your soul, and your energy and your love into a project, okay? I feel like there's a little bit of soul searching going on for you this month as well. Be mindful to find balance between you, yourself, and putting others' needs before yours, okay? It's important to find that balance. But if you're tempted to go off grid completely to really focus on something, or you need to squirrel yourself away to be strict and, really put effort into something that you cannot have distractions in, make sure you don't neglect your nearest and dearest, okay? Because they will miss you. That's what I'm picking up on there. Now, let's see your cards. Your first card here is the House Yeah, maybe that's why I was picking up the real estate vibes. I don't really look at the cards until it's time for me to pick them up and feel the energy. Now, this is your overarching energy. So this is about your home space, your family, making sure that everything is secure and stable. Now, a lot of you take on so much responsibility, my beautiful Scorpio. You may feel like sometimes you've got this fixer vibe about you. You just want everybody to be well. You just want everybody to be happy. And sometimes you put other people's needs before your own. And whilst that is a wonderful and valiant energy, sometimes there can be a little bit of codependency going on. Sometimes people can, take advantage of your kindness. I mean, I don't see that your family or your friends would do that because you tend to be very discerning about the company that you keep. Not everybody gets into your inner circle. So you very heavily vetted anyone who's come into your life already, but I feel that sometimes you put other people's needs before yours. So for example, if you've got something that you need to focus on yourself and it's time sensitive, sometimes when other people that you really care about need something as well, you tend to do their thing first and then focus on your own thing, and then you're exhausted. So you haven't got much time or energy to put into your own things. So just be mindful and find that balance. But we do have structure, comfort, stable, familiar, domestic affairs, safe, and privacy. So I see a lot of you, especially since this is a Taurus card here, I see a lot of you focusing on your finances and looking at the things that you've already worked for, trying to build security in your life, really being careful with your finances, cutting back on any excess, saving what you can. Absolutely, I feel like you're saving a little bit more than you have been able to last month. And I really get the sense that you're protecting or trying to find a way to protect the finances that you've already worked really hard for, okay? Some of you may be looking at the establishments that you have entrusted your finances to, and you may be looking at which banking institutions, for example, are connected so that you don't put all your eggs in one basket, shall we say, should there ever be an economic fluctuation where, you would lose a certain portion of your finances should the banks or institutions be connected. So I see a lot of you being very voracious for knowledge when it comes to world events. You're very savvy, you're very shrewd, and I feel like a lot of you have an intuition or a calling where you feel that instinctively you want to focus on something, and sometimes you don't even know why. Sometimes you may find that you can't sleep because you've suddenly had an idea that you've got to research deep in the middle of the night, and you don't know why it's coming, but it's actually a little nudge from your guide saying, hey, listen to me. This is going to be putting you in a very good position. So research it, be knowledgeable, and be aware, because knowledge is power. So I really get a sense that you are trying to find a way to make sure that you and your family are really in a good position in terms of world events, okay? I don't know why that's coming up. It's been coming up a lot in all of the readings. We all can feel that there are structures that are changing around us, and there's certain directions that we are all headed in, and I feel change for humanity, while sometimes it can be very good, very beneficial, we can all be very suspicious of it at first. We can all be very cautious about what it means for ourselves and our family, and I definitely feel like you're getting this energy where you're like, forewarned is, is it forearmed is forewarned, or forewarned is forearmed? That's it. Forewarned is forearmed. That is the energy that I've got. So I feel like you're bracing yourself for difficulty, but actually you're stepping into your power, okay? Because we've got the Emperor there, energy, I do feel part of you is looking about control and power in the world at large. And I feel like you're looking at your own patch of life and how and what it means for you, okay? But on a personal scale, some of you may be looking at buying real estate, or some of you may be trying to save to buy real estate, or you may have real estate that you want to sell. I feel like you will find a wonderful opportunity to activate that for yourself. And remember, I feel like you're going to get a really good deal for it as well. Now, because we've got the card of privacy first, there may be something that you're doing that you're keeping to yourself. And it's not because you're being dishonest with anybody. I feel like you're just working on something that you're protective of, that you want to make sure it goes really well with. Because I feel like in the past, perhaps you talked about your projects or something that you're trying to accomplish and it didn't go so well. So I feel like you're trying to work off grid or really focus on something, almost like in hermit mode, where you are flying under the radar just to make things, go really well for yourself and be successful. Also, we've got photograph, okay? So that's this really nostalgic energy that I've got coming through. And I do feel that there is someone who perhaps you connected to in the past, someone who perhaps was very in and out of your life, who caused a lot of uncertainty, but also I feel like they almost pull the rug from underneath you at some point in your friendship or in your love relationship. If this is a person from the past, I feel like they have a desire to resurface in the month of February. So just watch out for that. If you don't want to connect to that person, of course, you will cut that person out. The Chariot card tells me that you've got a decision, a direction. You could stay and try and reconnect with that person, or you could go and leave it. It all depends on what you want, but I feel like you're ready. Your energy can feel this person already thinking about you anyway. It says here, the past memories, the past returning, past influences, familiarity, and nostalgia. Now, it's really interesting with this. Some of you may revisit a creative project that you do or have done in the past. Some of you, it may actually be connected to photography, but I feel there's a picture that is going to be very relevant for you over the month of February. And this could fall out of a book, or it could be something that you discover when you're looking for something else. It could be hidden in some papers, and it really connects you to somebody in spirit, okay? This is their sign that they're around you, and they want you to know that you are loved. They're showing up in the month of love just to really underline that they're thinking about you also, okay? So you're gonna get lots of omens from someone in spirit. I mean, it could be even that you smell their aftershave or their perfume, but I feel there's a photograph that reminds you. I mean, the photograph could even just be of you, my beautiful Scorpio, but the person in spirit could have taken it, or you were on the way to visit that person that day. There's something relevant about this photo, okay? That's coming up strongly. But I also feel you're being very instinctive by learning from past situations and noticing the things that are right for you, that lead to growth and a better version of yourself, and things that really are energy vampires or people who are negative or not right for you. I feel like you're being, it's almost like February is a month of culling things that are just not right for you. You're cutting them out. They're actually showing me right now a sword in the water, okay, a sword. Now swords tend to mean, good fate, a breakthrough, some good karma coming your way. It can also mean that you're making deals or communicating an idea that you've got that will lead to something very exciting. But the way that they're showing me, they're now putting the sword in the stone. Interesting, Excalibur, right? Okay, so this could be, these images may mean nothing to you in this moment, but in the next 6 weeks or so, they may mean everything to you, okay? I'm trying to pick up the energy that I'm getting from that image. I mean, some of you may actually see a book that's called Excalibur, or you may see a photo of Excalibur, or you may visit a place that's relevant to it. The story of Excalibur is about taking the sword from the stone. The rightful owner is the only person who can take the sword from the stone. And I feel this is something that's relevant to you in this month, where there is an opportunity that is only meant for you. Only you could do this. Okay, now, or it could be an idea that only you can formulate and make it happen. This is about the rightful owner to the crown, and because you've got the End card as an emperor, this is about mastering something or having a breakthrough on something that perhaps you've been chipping away at for a while. Okay, so this Excalibur sword may be relevant to you in some way. I mean, it could also be an Ace of Swords, but indicative of an Ace of Swords, but because you didn't get an Ace of Swords, I can only imagine that it's some sort of breakthrough on something that perhaps nobody else can do, or people have tried to do this before, maybe in your family lineage, but they were not successful, and the time is for you. Some of you, it could be breaking generational patterns that perhaps have been negative, or some sort of wounding that perhaps has been passed down from generation to generation, and you're the first to eradicate it. But I feel like it's more about you being in your power. I'm going to step away from that energy, okay, because it's very precise. We've also got the tunnel, okay, and this is your overarching energy. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. So if you've been feeling a little bit like deep self-reflective mode, or you feel that things have not been going the way you had hoped for and you've been feeling a little bit stuck in a rut, you are going to have a breakthrough in the month of February. It says here, hiding, passage, journey, lost, refuge, exploring the subconscious and dark times. So you are someone, my beautiful Scorpio, who is not afraid to look at the darker side of life, but it's only so that you can see the light. None of us can truly transform ourselves unless we look at our shadow side. We have to have the courage to look at all the things within ourselves that need spiritual elevation before we can actually step into the light, okay? So a lot of you may have been going through that dark period, or you may have been going through a depression, or you may have been really mourning something perhaps that has not been going very well for you. And you're going to get a wonderful surprise in February where suddenly there is a big turnaround, okay? Suddenly you're going to be absolutely in your element. Whatever it is you're chipping away at, you're going to get the breakthrough moment, you're going to get the eureka moment, or you're going to move past the difficulties and accomplish something that you have seen as your goal. I mean, I feel it has been difficult. You've got the Ten of Wands in your protagonist energy with the Queen of Wands. Sometimes you spread yourself a little bit thin when it comes to your energy. You know, Scorpio, yes, you can do it all, but you don't have to do it all at once. This is what's coming through, okay? So really focus on what you want. And the most important thing you'll focus on first, and then everything else will slot into place, okay? Now we've got the Chariot. This really connects to your 10th house, okay? Because your 10th house is a very ambitious house about energy, about direction, and your reputation, shall we say, and making your mark on the world. So with the Chariot card, this is about you moving forward, overcoming any obstacles, and accomplishing whatever it is you set out to do. Your dedication, your commitment will bring you progress, okay? Also, this is about stepping into your power, having confidence in everything that you are focused on. Whether you're retired right now and you're focusing on projects, or you're trying to activate some sort of travel in your chart, you're trying to move forward in February, maybe you're just booking travel, or you're thinking about exploring the world. Could even be that you're trying to relocate because we have the house there. Some of you may be thinking about buying property abroad, or even just, out of state, or just out of your financial bracket, because I feel like there's a potential to just overextend yourself. So just watch out for that, okay? But it says here, movement, progress, integration. So Chariot energy is about, after a difficult time, getting back in the hot seat and following the direction that your heart desires to lead you in. But also remember, the Chariot normally has no reins. So it is about being, independent, exploring all your options without restriction, allowing yourself to not hold yourself back or not allow adversity to get in your way. And also, there's an element of the Chariot is governed by fate because there are no reins. So you are using the power of your mind, your willpower, in order to influence the direction, and the universe is also helping guide you to where you need to be, okay? So horses, of course, they represent independence, spontaneity, and I feel that you've been really bogged down with a lot of responsibility recently, and you may have felt very oppressed, or you may have felt that you've been working too hard and you haven't been having enough fun. You're completely burnt out and overloaded. And you may be asking yourself, well, what is the point? Okay, but there is a point to find a little bit more spontaneity, a little bit more enjoyment, a little bit more joy in life. So with that 10 of Wands there, I feel like you're looking at yourself and your life in a very different way. Okay, now interesting, we've got the 10 of Wands here, and we've got the Queen of Wands. So of course that's all about passion, it's about drive, it's about inspiration and stepping into your power. But sometimes, because you overwork yourself, my beautiful Scorpio, you may notice that it takes a toll on your looks or on your health in some way. So they really want you to activate a self-care routine, especially in February. Treat yourself. And treating yourself does not have to cost money. It can be that, you shut off work extra early one day in particular, and, you take yourself out for a walk in nature, in a park, or, you take a different route home and then run yourself a bath and read a favorite book, or, really just sit on the sofa and watch a comedy series to lift your spirits. Whatever it is, your guides want you to pay close attention to how much you are burning yourself out. Because without your health And without good sleep patterns, there is no you. And there is no ambition, and there is no job or project or anything. You must come first. It's so important, okay? So, some of you may have been looking in the mirror and wanting to make certain changes, and they all start with your schedule and your energy levels. So make sure that you are taking good vitamins, that you are really connecting to healthier food, and the things that you've cut out that are negative for you or have been making you feel bloated or lethargic, I feel it's important to remain connected and strict to you adhering to that kind of diet or cutting it out. They're actually saying something in the water right now. They're giving me 3 words, okay, 3 words. And this is not going to be resonant for everyone, but I'm just going to give you the words because they're coming out. I can't ignore what's being shown to me when I'm scrying in the water. Otherwise, no other images will come through. But they're showing me these 3 words: no added sugar. No added sugar. Now, I'm not here to tell you how to run your life or your diet or anything like that. I can only give you what I'm channeling. So some of you out there may have to watch your sugar levels, especially if they are non-natural sugar levels, shall we say. So just watch out for that, okay? It could also be something that is making you feel such intense highs and such intense lows, especially if you're trying to focus on a project or get something done, because you're going to need all the energy for what is to come for you, okay? Now, the Queen of Wands indicates that you are turning heads. In the month of love, if you're single and you're looking for love, then you are attracting a lot of attention, okay? Notice how people look at you as you walk down the sidewalk. Even if you're in a relationship, you're going to notice people looking at you. You're not going to act on it, but it may give you a nice little boost, a little spring in your step where you're like, you know what, I still got it, even though you're in a relationship. We have to remember that we are still attractive, we are still sensual beings that have relevance and are independent and are still having a glow up, okay? Also, the Queen of Wands, this is a card of thinking about your creative collaborations. So some of you will be completely productive in your power, creating a lot of exciting things for yourself. And it's about, I feel like you're going to attract people in business or in friendships that have the power to influence or inspire you and help you accomplish whatever it is you're trying to set out to do. Now, also with the Queen of Wands, this is a card of you being led. Your passion is your power. So you're being led by that intensity that is within you. And your confidence will also help you accomplish whatever it is you set out to do. Now, this card is really connecting to your 5th house of self-expression as well. Don't hide your power. Don't dull your shine for anybody. If you found in the past that relationships have tried to rob you of your energy, or you felt that, you were pushed into a little box, or people want you to be in that little box and said, oh, Scorpio, you're too intense, or Scorpio, you're too sensitive, or any of those things, don't believe it. This is about shining your wonderful light, okay? Anyone who tells you you are to this or to that, it means they cannot control you and they don't like it. So they want to rob you of your immense power, okay? So just watch out for that there as well. Now we do have the Judgment card, okay? Now the Judgment card is in the Resistance position. So it's like we got it in the reverse for you. When you get this card in the Resistance position, there's a lot of self-doubt here, okay? So don't doubt your wonderful self. This is a card of stagnation. Sometimes when we feel we want to accomplish something, we look at the project, the task in hand, and the first thing we think of is, wouldn't it be incredible if we did this? It'd be so awesome. I'm really excited about it. The second thought is, but what if I fail? Okay, don't allow that second thought, which is normally the ego muscling in to say, hi, let me just destroy your plans. Don't listen to that inner narrative, okay, because thoughts become things. It's so important to realize that our thoughts are very relevant in how we act or how we accomplish things, because if our own mind is not believing in ourselves, then why should the universe or anyone else around us believe in ourselves? And remember, it's almost like the body is eavesdropping on the mind. So if you're saying that you're not good enough, or you're not attractive enough, or you're never going to accomplish something, then the body is emanating this frequency that believes what you are telling it. So thoughts become things, and I really feel like you're stepping into your power. A lot of you will be thinking about your soul path this month as well, and you may feel that you've been very focused on what you want to do, but you may have felt that you've not been getting very far on your soul path, and you may have felt a little bit discouraged or unfulfilled about your path. But I feel something is coming along in the month of February to reignite your passion, bring you a little bit more confidence, and give you the thumbs up from the universe, where you're going to set one foot in front of the other and be on your true prosperity path. It says rebirth, a new phase, an inner calling. So you're going to be following that inner calling. And some of you may have felt a little bit lost recently or in the last couple of months, lost in direction, lost of faith, loss of energy, and just started to really wonder, well, what's new about this year? What's new about life? It just seems to be the same old thing. And are we tricking ourselves into thinking that perhaps there's anything new or different or exciting out there? Especially since we've gone through a major pandemic, it's really asked everybody in humanity to focus on the things that matter, and anything that is superficial or on the surface, it never ever interested you in the first place, okay? But now you have an amplified sense of what you feel is right and what you feel is your true north. And don't ever connect to anything that doesn't feel right for you, okay? Now, the Judgment card is also a card of second chances. So some of you may actually reconnect to a passion project, something perhaps that you didn't finish. This is the month where you're closing out projects, making it happen, tying up loose ends there for you in a very productive, organized manner. Also, the Judgment card is about weighing up your options. You're going to, some of you may, with the Judgment card, you may choose a life that perhaps is very different than the one you thought you wanted in the first place, okay? And it's not that you're giving up on something. I feel like you're finding a new approach or a different way to accomplish it. If you're having a hunch to take a different direction, I feel like the end goal will be the same, but you'll just take a more interesting journey to get it. And when the universe throws like a little plot twist in there, it tends to mean that there's something more interesting on a different path, or somebody else that you need to meet before you accomplish your goal. So don't get discouraged if you feel like suddenly you have to take a left when you thought you were going right, okay? It's so important to realize that. Now, you got the Chariot card twice, okay? And we got the Eight of Pentacles here. So a lot of you may have felt a little bit bored, that you feel in a repetitive cycle, in a routine, and you just want to shake things up a little bit. You want to be a bit more spontaneous. The Eight of Pentacles is all about your work-life habit, okay? It's also about, finding balance. For those of you who are retired, you may be looking at, especially with world events, economic events, you may be looking at things like your pension and looking at how the fluctuations affect the proficiency of the pension provider that you're with, or even the money that you have managed to save. With the Eight of Pentacles, this is a card, it's in the reverse position. So when you get it in the reverse position, it's like some of you may feel like you need to shift things around, or you may feel like you have to take a side hustle, for example, if you feel the finances that you've been saving may not be enough. There will be a fluctuation where there's more money, okay? So, for example, what I feel like I'm picking up on is a little bit of a dip in the market, okay? But then it recorrects itself with that Knight of Pentacles, because you go from the Eight of Pentacles to the Knight of Pentacles, which means there may be a dip in the finances, but there is then an increase, which will bring a little bit more money as well. Now, the Eight of Pentacles also is about investment in self, okay? And because we got the Judgment card, I feel like you have a continuous lesson to learn throughout your whole life that you have not been learning, which is about putting your own needs first, which is about having the confidence to say no to situations that you feel would overstretch you. And I feel this is something, a month where you will exert that power. You're not being rude, you're not being insensitive if you say, unfortunately, I can't help you out in that way, or I don't want to let you down, so I'm going to say no at this time. But when I've got a little bit more time in the future, then hell yeah, I'll help you out. But right now, I've got to focus on some chores or some tasks that I have myself, okay? Now, a lot of you, especially during this period, you may have been going through tax season, or you may have been, looking at a wedge of finances that came out of your bank to pay bills, or even, and I'm picking up, and this is not going to be for everyone, even a surprise bill. I'm just going to pull a card on that, okay? Because I'm picking up a surprise bill energy that's going to make you feel a little bit cross at first. I mean, this could be like a parking fine, or it could be like you didn't pay a bill on time. 8 of Wands indicates communication. It comes in really quick. 2 of Wands. I mean, some of you may be able to contest this, okay? It could even be a mistake. The Strength card and the Temperance. Yeah, I really get a sense, hold true to your patience with this. Don't fret about it, because I feel you will rebuild those finances, or you may contest it, and it may have been a mistake in the system, okay? Because the Strength card, I mean, the 8 of Wands is like it comes in quick, but the 2 of Wands is like to wait and see how it turns out, because it's like communicate. Make sure you communicate. Don't see the bill or the whatever it is that comes in and just bury your head in the sand. Really address it. I mean, it could be lesser if you address it earlier, but I feel like you could actually have it overturned because I feel like there could be some communication and misunderstanding in that area. Okay, now these cards in connection to you, it's like something that you've been waiting for such a long time. You've had to have this inner resolve and belief in yourself that it was going to work out, and you were just on the edge of not believing anymore, or not giving up, but really feeling that your patience and your faith has been tested. The universe comes to deliver an opportunity for you that makes you feel really proud of yourself. You did it, you accomplished it, and I feel this brings a lot of reward. Also, the 8 of Pentacles, I feel like you're being very discerning about your finances, cutting back on things that you don't really need in order to save a little bit more money, okay? That 8 of Coins is you investing in your future self as well, or in your future. So a lot of you will be focusing on your pensions and how to increase your finances. The Chariot card in this position also indicates that you have been feeling a bit stuck, or you felt a bit of a loss of direction. Right now, they're showing me loads of stars in the water. Actually, let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm seeing 6 stars. Oh, okay. You know what? I can't really think what constellation that looks like. Okay. I wish... Maybe I should go and get a pen and sort of draw what I feel it looks like. It's almost like an M with a very long tail in the sky. I can't see a pen right now, so I can't really I can't really go off in the reading and find a pen for you. But yeah, it looks like an M with a really long tail in the sky. But off the top of my head, I can't think about what constellation it represents. I'll put it in the comments box below when I look it up afterwards, okay? This may be relevant because I feel some really good news is turning things around. It's a very pivotal moment for you in the month of February. And even though it is the month of love, I feel like you are focusing on yourself and focusing on healing some difficult situations that you've had to experience in life. You're resolving some of those painful moments in order to look at how they've made you stronger, how they've made you more, how can I put that, more voracious for success, because I feel like you are a more spiritually evolved Scorpio, where you're not taking revenge on anybody should they have done you wrong. Your success will be the revenge that matters, okay? Now with the Chariot card, this indicates you will rediscover your direction, and I feel like you are having a moment of breakthrough. This is a card also of more energy, but I feel like you're going to focus on better eating habits, sleeping patterns, and vitamins that will help you get to where you want to go, okay? And give you that boost of energy where you feel a little bit more like yourself. Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. They're also showing me right now in the water a seagull. A seagull. And they're giving me this energy of being ready to take flight on something. So perhaps some of you are launching a project, or some of you are thinking about moving and you found it very difficult to find a place to move to, perhaps because of finances. Okay, because the Eight of Pentacles is like working really hard to save the pennies, and the Chariot card is to move. So it could be some of you are trying really hard to save money to go on a vacation, or to relocate, or even change jobs. Some of you may be thinking about restructuring your world, but trying to build finances so that you have security in order to make those changes. But the Seagull, I feel, is they're giving me this energy of strength, stamina, dependence. Okay, well, in true Scorpio form, because I'm also a Scorpio, they have flipped this image and they've put it on the cover of a book. And they're giving me this energy. Let me try and pick up. Okay, my guys, okay. Thank you so much, I'm truly grateful. My guys just said an existential meaning of purpose in life. So perhaps some of you have been going through this huge philosophical questioning process where you're like, what's the point? What's the meaning? What is my direction? Does it matter? What am I trying to accomplish? And how does it affect me and my family? But they're showing me the seagull on a book, and now they're giving me a quote. This is so crazy. They're giving me a quote. I am mourning for my life. Oh, Scorpio. Okay, thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. They're giving, I am mourning for my life. This is a quote from a book that has a seagull on it. And I'm getting a sense that perhaps there is part of you that you feel like you lost, that you want to rediscover. Especially since we got the Judgment card here, it's about rediscovering or rebirthing yourself. So I'm getting a sense of a desire to reconnect to a part of yourself that you feel you lost. So maybe since the pandemic, you may have felt that things have just not been as fun anymore, or you feel there's things that you used to do that you don't do anymore that you really want to get back to. You will rediscover those things. You will actually reconnect to those things, okay? I'm going to have to look up what that quote is and what that book is. I mean, if my mind serves me well, I know of 2 books that are connected to seagulls that I've read in my time, but I can't remember if this quote is in either of those books. And one is it, I want to say it's either called Jonathan Seagull or The Seagull by someone called Jonathan something. And the other one is The Seagull, I think is it Anton Chekhov? Okay, I want to say those 2 books, so it may be in one of those books. They're the only seagull books, but they're actually only showing me a book with an actual seagull on it. So I'm gonna leave it like that, okay? It's very, very precise. So it may be relevant to you. Some of you may be reading one of those books, or you may know what that quote is, or that may be how you're feeling right now, but you will rediscover direction. February is a month of rediscovering your path, and the Chariot, I mean, there's 3 horses in your reading here, which indicates independent spirit, bringing more spontaneity into your life, a lot more fun in your life. Some of you may even be, moving out of your parents' house, or moving out of a flat share with people in order to be a little bit more independent. So please take it as it resonates. It's not going to resonate for everyone. But I do feel that a lot of you are going to be focusing on projects. Of course, love is important, and I will pull some cards for you, but I feel like your primary energy is you focusing on the changes that you need to make and stepping into your inner power. We do have the Emperor here. This is the outcome energy, which is your plans or your strategy being very successful. This is about you focusing on something that you want and making it happen. When you get the Emperor energy, this is a card of authority, leadership. So some of you may have been working really hard and you're going to be elevated in your career. Some of you will step into a leadership position, or some of you are setting up a second stream of income, which one may include you setting up your own business. If you already have your own business sort of set up, I feel like you're going to have leaps and bounds here, where a lot more people are interested in what you do. You're shining your wonderful light, and you're attracting a lot of attention with your skill set, okay? Now also it says structure, stability, rules, and power, okay? So being very strict with yourself, okay, and focusing on the things that you want to get done. So you're going to be very organized. Now, you may have felt a little bit scattered in your energy, that you had so much to focus on. So you have been spreading yourself thin. So it really is important to really focus on the thing that matters the most, and then take it down from there. The first thing, the second thing, and breathe, because you can accomplish great things, but it's important not to get frazzled or overwhelmed by the things that you've got going on. You will accomplish it all. This card indicates you're completely in the flow, that you are empowered, and you are going to be very, very successful in all that you connect to, okay? This is a card of domination, but also it's about using your energy to take you to where you want to go and have all your desires delivered. Now, because we have the Emperor there, some of you may be seeking advice about changes in your life, or you may actually decide to collaborate with people in order to elevate. I definitely get a sense that if you work for a business with other people, I feel like people appreciate what you do, and I feel you're doing something repetitive, and it may feel a little bit boring, but you're actually mastering it. Okay, you're getting even better and better, and you're going to be noticed for what you do, and you're going to bring in more finances as well, because we've got a Knight of Pentacles here, which means some sort of job opportunity or project is offered to you that's very lucrative. It may bring a lot more responsibility, but I feel it also brings a lot more money as well, a lot more money than you were having before. Okay, with the Emperor card, that does indicate that you feel that you have so much to do, and that sometimes there's no time for you, or no time for playing or going out with friends and having fun, because you have so much to do. But you will find the balance in order to accomplish whatever it is you set out to do. Now, a lot of you may have been coming out of a relationship. If you're looking for love and you have separated from someone, there is the potential for you and this person to reunite, because we do have the Judgment card here. There's someone here that perhaps has caused a lot of pain in your past, or you have this person has wounded you in some way, because the Three of Swords can mean they've said something that really hurt you. This person wants to make amends. They want to repair the relationship. Now, it doesn't have to be a love relationship. It could be a friendship. Someone wounded you. There's definitely an energy here of someone extending the olive branch in the month of February. What you do with that is your call, my beautiful Scorpio. But this person does want to make the effort to make things right, okay? For some of you, this could be an ex who comes in and tries to show you that they've changed. I mean, the energy shows me that, well, I'm going to pull a card on it, because we've got a Two of Pentacles there, which indicates you are not so sure. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please clarify if it's an ex, their intention? Ten of Pentacles. This person means commitment. They want commitment. They want to settle down. They're thinking about you, and they want to commit to you. Let me just see one more energy. Anything else? Any surprises within this person? Ace of Wands. They're very passionate. They're thinking about you in a very sensual way, shall we say. So, but their passion is backed up by the fact that they want to commit. Okay, Ace of Wands is, you know, a spark that you have with this person. But I also feel if you're looking for new love, that there is chemistry between you and someone new that will lead to a higher level of commitment, okay? So February is a very important month where you may feel like getting yourself out there. I feel there's a lot of you going places this month, okay? You know, being invited to things that you really will find beneficial and exciting. And there's gonna be some people there that, if you're single, I feel like you are attracting a lot of attention, but there's one person in particular that really sparks your attention. Now, if you're single, I will be doing a singles love reading before February 14th, hopefully, if time allows. But I do feel like there's love coming on if you're looking for it, okay? Now, we do have the Three of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. And this tells me that something really difficult that you've had to try and balance or juggle in some way, something that has caused a lot of difficulty or pain, or you felt was perhaps, you know, causing you suffering. I feel like you find a way to balance things out, readdress your focus, and you accomplish it. Your effort accomplishes it, okay? I really feel like you've got a plan that you're sticking to, you're very hardworking, and I really get a sense throughout your whole reading that it's like no pain, no gain. Now, not everything that we want should be difficult, but I feel there's something here that perhaps you loved doing, that perhaps you had to let go of, or perhaps you had to pause, especially during the pandemic, but you will reunite with that. If it's your sense of self, okay, that you feel like you've been lost your mojo, or you lost your passion or your joie de vivre, you will rediscover it. The Two of Pentacles indicates, I mean, oh my gosh, I just looked at this card. I mean, obviously I can't prove it because you can't see my eyes not looking at this card, but just notice there's actually a seagull in that card, okay? Again, I'm a Scorpio, you're a Scorpio. If someone told me I did not see that seagull, I promise you I wouldn't trust them either. So, please take it as it resonates, but I didn't see the seagull. So they are indicating a seagull may be relevant. It could be that you see a seagull, or you're reading the book, The Seagull, or it connects to that existential thing that my guides were saying. So that existential purpose. But the Two of Pentacles indicates that you're going to be very, very busy, okay? And you're going to be very flexible, adapting to all that needs to be done. This is a card of consistency, okay? So if something hasn't been working, I feel like you're trying to find a different approach to make it happen, and it will happen for you, okay? It's going to happen. Also, I feel like there's a couple of offers coming on in here that bring more finances. For some of you, if you are retired, for example, and you're thinking about places that you want to visit, I feel like you've got a couple of places on your list. You're going to pick one, of course, that you really want to do, and you will find that you'll meet some people who are there, who are then going on to the other place that you want to go to, and I feel like you may all go off together, okay, as a group. Also, some of you may be thinking about relocating, and I feel like it'll be a choice between two properties where you have to decide which place is right for you. I mean, if you're super wealthy and you're lucky, then you may obviously purchase the two. But of course, that's not going to be everybody. Two of Pentacles is about balance, okay? About balance, especially if there's something that you've been doing, like off-grid, working really hard, and you just feel like you're not going out and having fun. That is not you being an all-rounded individual, and you get a bit stifled in manifestation. When we feel a little bit out of kilter, we feel frustrated, we feel stuck, and our vibrations, shall we say, are changed. So it's important to look at how you can change things that have been feeling a little bit stagnant for you. The Knight of Pentacles, for a lot of you, I see an offer coming on in, okay? Now, the Knight of Pentacles is a job offer or some sort of opportunity to raise in your profession. It can be more money coming on in, but I feel like your diligence, your hardworking, your stamina is going to help you accomplish something. Your hard work will pay off financially, but also it will make you feel rewarded inside. You're going to feel really proud of yourself. For a lot of you, you're going to look at it's almost like you're going to look at the effort that you put into things and how you overgive. And that's in relationships, in friendships, and in a lot of circumstances, you tend to be an overgiver. So I feel like you're readdressing the balance just so that you can keep some energy for yourself. And with this Knight of Pentacles as well, I'm really picking up on this energy of having faith that something is going to be offered to you, or something that you've been working hard to accomplish. You're in the flow and it will work out for your highest good. Okay, they just give me this energy of doing a job well and never leaving anything undone, and that you will be rewarded for it. Okay, I'm getting the sense of you being rewarded for it. Let me see if I've got any other energy coming from this. Yeah, I get this sense that you're being very careful with your finances, not to overload yourself. Let me pull a card to see what else I got coming out there. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. A lot of you are going to find a pocket of healing in the month of February. And You're going to recognize your sense of value, okay? You're going to feel empowered that old behaviors or bad behaviors from the past, or even bad habits that you've had, they just don't fly anymore, and you're cutting them out, okay? Now, when it comes to love, I just want to see, because this is the month of love, of course, there is the potential for you to be, your world be rocked by somebody new, okay? The Tower energy indicates coming out of a stagnant situation. The Tower is like being in prison, where you're going round and round in circles, doing the same old thing, different day, same old thing. But the Tower is to liberate yourself from that energy, to take a leap of faith, to do something different, to take yourself out of that, you know, habit, that repetitive cycle, that routine, that structure that we've all built. So again, it's about finding spontaneity. You know that something needs to change. So I feel like you are taking the initiative to make the changes, and it will lead to you being offered something that resonates with your heart. Now, this could be love. I feel there's someone new coming on in. If you're looking for love, this could be someone who's a little bit younger than you. Doesn't have to be, but spiritually, this person is not as mature as you. And we can only meet each other as deeply as we have met ourselves. But this person is true blue. They wear their heart on their sleeve. They are very open. They're very loyal, and it's not that they're naive. I don't get the sense that they're naive, but they like to see the good in the world. And I feel like you will give them a healthy dose of also realizing, you know, that there is a yin and yang to the world, okay? But this person is a little bit more up in the air, shall we say, than you are. You're quite grounded in your energy. Also, this could be a surprise project that comes in that is offered to you, something that you're going to be excited about. The universe is encouraging you to take and grab with both hands. But it's so important. When you get the Page of Cups, it's important that you are in the flow of your intuition, your psychic ability. There is news coming your way that will surprise you. It may even turn your world upside down, but I do feel like it's a surprise that will benefit you in the long run, okay? Now, also with the Page of Cups, some of you may study something that you love studying, but suddenly you may decide to change your mind or change direction, and that's okay. It will lead you to something greater. Remember to open yourself, use your imagination. The Page of Cups is news coming on in that really connects to your sense of purpose, what you love doing. Be receptive to all the changes and flexible to all the changes around you, okay? For those of you who are already in a loving relationship, I feel like, you know, I'm going to pull a card on that Tower energy for you, but I do feel like you're solidifying your connection with your partner. Can you please clarify the Tower? So this could be, I'm getting two energies here. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Scorpio? What do they need to know? So your person, if you're with someone already and you're not married, this person could pop the question. Please try to act surprised, okay? But because we've got the Three of Cups, which is celebration. The Three of Cups, if you look up the meaning of the Three of Cups, it means to celebrate, okay? Something to celebrate. Ace of Cups is an offer of love, and the Four of Wands is the halfway to marriage card. So it can mean that your person wants to either renew your vows if you're already married, or deepen their connection with you, or some of you may find a new home where you want to relocate with. Some of you also may, they may pop the question and ask you to get engaged in February. Also, I feel if you're trying to get into real estate, or you're trying to sell your home, or you're just trying to buy a home, I really feel like this is a really great time for you to make an offer on something that will be very enjoyable. And I see you having a long time living in this place where there's good vibes, okay? So I'm just gonna get some final cards before we close. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Scorpio? What do they need to know? Now, there were the two energies that I was getting. One was love and the other one was real estate. So maybe those are the things that are focused on you at the moment. We've got near future. So whatever it is you are trying to manifest, it's very close. It's on the horizon. That's probably, okay, they're giving me two images all at once. Okay, they're giving me this ship, old-fashioned ship, journey of discovery, perhaps, or an opportunity that's on the horizon. I think they actually gave me that energy right at the beginning of the reading, but I'm scrying and channeling at the same time, so I can't quite remember, but they're just showing me this ship again. So an image of a ship may be relevant. It's really an old-fashioned ship with sails on it, connected to your purpose, your journey, or your direction. And the other image they're giving me is wolves. So they are pathfinders. So both actually connect to direction, path, your true north. So this is something that maybe you'll be more focused on in the month of February. It says presently, rapidly, shortly. Expect arrivals any day now. Okay, so all your cards, they're all offering. Okay, the Ace of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Page of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, they are all offering cards, which means there is something being offered to you, either some sort of good news or some sort of comfort or some sort of opportunity that really makes you excited. Okay, so this is a very catalytic month for change for you. And yeah, so something really good is showing up for you in the near future. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get a trinket before we close. Thank you so much for it, guys, and angels. We have the owl. Okay, now the owl connects to knowledge, but also the wise old owl sees everything, says nothing. That's the saying that goes with this. The wise old owl sees everything, says nothing. So a lot of you may be using your knowledge to forge away on a project. You're not telling anybody about it, but I feel it's going to be something that helps you take flight. So I really feel this is a very positive time for you to see something through to the end, a project or a move or something that you've been trying to come to fruition. And with the owl, that may be a symbol for you. These symbols and signs may mean nothing in this moment, but in the next 4 or 5 weeks, they mean everything. Okay, so far you've had a sword, Excalibur, I think, yes. You've had an owl, you've had a ship, wolves, that's for sure, and a seagull that has shown up in that card right there. Okay, so watch out for those signs and symbols. They will point to good news arriving at your door just after you see it. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in this reading for you. If it does, please like and subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Okay, thank you so much, my beautiful Scorpio. Love and light.